super happy with how this cherry worked out.
Why did I agree to this?
Look at that! It's ridiculous.
Nerd satisfaction.
Those are not even in line.
Just clear this up. No sporks.
Hey guys, today I'm challenging Max to carve something for the first time. I think it's gonna be a fork, and he really dislikes forks. Maxi, first time challenge. You have to carve a fork. Do you accept?
Fork? I accept.
Alright, as Benji said, I dislike forks. But, let's do it. I have never done this before, but I'm just gonna carve an eating spoon and then I basically split it, I guess. Right through the pith. This one's the one. Sorry, mate. Let's keep the nice bits in the middle here. What do you guys think? I don't know if I'm gonna manage this. Have you checked out our favorite woods to carve video? This is cherry, by the way. Have you mentioned that? Have we mentioned that? Not yet, right? This is cherry. And I use this because it is super straight. And it doesn't have a huge tendency to twist, because if you're trying to make a fork, if anything, you want it at least to be straight. All right. I think something like this maybe. And then I guess we're making a 4-pronged one. 3 prongs seems a little bit weird. This is way too big. This is way too big. This looks so strange. Golly. Okay. We're gonna narrow this down. This is ridiculous. No, I'm just gonna carve it. Look at this. Look at that. This is ridiculous. Okay.
Why did I agree to this?
I promise I'm gonna come up with a challenge for you. For sure. And it's gonna be something like carve an elephant or carve a rhino. Oh yeah, you're the guy who's doing all the figures, right? I'm not gonna give you a figurine to carve. Okay, I think I need the drill bit later, which is also super odd. Who's using a drill? I almost wanted to say spoon carving, but this is not even spoon carving. At least this wood's super straight grained. Please never ask me to do this with apple, please. So far everything is fun and nice because it's like spoon carving. The uncomfy bits just gonna come now. Alright. Glad I sharpened the axe before. Why is it never something like chopsticks? I think I need to keep some thickness, right? Otherwise, I mean, this is wood, not metal. How am I gonna do this? Okay, I think I know.
If you want to challenge us to carve something we've never done before, just leave a comment with your idea and we'll pick the one with the most likes for our next video.
I love this. It's a really old Nick Westerman that I put into a super sexy sheath. Look at this. Anyways, I don't like forks. Has anybody ever actually asked himself why there's no wooden forks? Why there's no historic wooden forks surviving? Why forks are always forged? Why they're from metal? Anybody? Nobody? I guess it's because a fork is basically a split piece of wood. A lot of people are gonna be like, well, I'm sure this is not his first fork. It is my first fork. I truly dislike the idea of carving a split piece of wood. I don't think I'm gonna go nuts now here on the symmetries and everything. The more I get to the fork stage, the more I'm like, yeah, this is too wide. It's weird, eh? If it was a spoon, you could go huge and you're going like, yeah, of course, I just kind of put this right here. But with a fork, all of a sudden, the idea becomes weird to have such a wide fork. Now, what I do not accept in terms of like answers to this video, by the way, just that we just clear this up. No sporks. No sporks. No sporks. Okay. I think that fork needs to have like a little bit of a nice swing to it as well. Just like a spoon. I will make it a little bit less cranked than a spoon. I guess forks are a little bit straighter, I guess. Whenever I feel like this is coming together pretty nicely, I all of a sudden remember that we haven't done forky bits yet. Okay, drill bits. Small drill bits. I think I'm gonna use the HSS. Because I don't think this is a wood drill bit. I don't like them. I like the ones that cut. That's my smallest drill bit. Okay. I need a pilot hole. This must be 2 millimeters or something. Let's go middle, right here, right there. And then I go, wait, so if there's one prong then here, then I need another hole. I'm gonna put this to the front a little bit. And then I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. I've seen this in an old fork I have at home. Looks rather nice, and they're slightly stacked. Now I'm gonna put it on the chopping block here, or here. I need somewhere where it's got like full-on support in the back, otherwise it might split out. Here we go, the other madness. My entire body revolts against this right now, inside. Okay, I think we need to enlarge these holes a little bit. I don't even know the size, these are so worn out. Might be 4. I feel so dumb. I feel so dumb. I feel so dumb. Dumb. Those are not even in line. All right. Here's the idea. I removed 2 pencils. I think what I'm gonna do, I wanna have a prong here, basically, running to the end, somehow pointing out a little bit, just like that. Boom, and then one here. Getting a little bit more pointy as it goes. And then here as well. And I'm gonna trace these, I think, with my knife blade, just as if I did some chip carving. I think this is my best bet. So now, I'm just gonna run basically a deep cut like that, and rather make it too narrow than too wide. I'm wondering if this piece would split out nice, or if I'm gonna ruin it with that. I guess at some point it's gonna split. So I could as well, I guess, just do like a V cut or something, just like this. And try not to use any weird tools for this. So if this was chip carving, yeah, I'd do this. You see,
It's like a sliver coming out. This whole thing starts being really flexible, so I'm trying not to use too much fork stuff anymore. My whole brain's starting to fall apart. Oh, there we go. There, she split. She split apart. Oh, yes. Satisfaction. Nerd satisfaction. All right. Don't screw it up. Don't screw it up. You don't wanna do this again.
It is so important at this stage to have a blazing sharp knife because
You really can't use any power.
I felt like it looked pretty good, but now that I looked at it again, it doesn't look that good.
So now I think what I want to do, I just want to get these transitions half nice and these prongs somewhat even. We want to have them each pointed, which is really tricky actually, I'm realizing, because these have really no support anymore. So I kind of need to hold them and carve them like this from each side, I'd say. Do the same thing from each side.
Although there's forks that are only one-sided, but I guess we're just gonna...
I can't use the other prongs to push off of because they're too thin. Make them pointy. Then take off the tips evenly, because these prongs are not quite the same length at the moment. They're kind of getting there, I guess. Now just take the tips off. Whoopsie, that wasn't good. Maybe a cut down as well, like this. Boom, boom. Jesus. Then one from this side. This is so filigrane and seems like it's just want to break. This is not so nice, but let's just finish it off as nice as possible, and then let's never talk about it again. I guess I'm gonna try to chamfer each of these now. So on the outside I know how it works because this is like a spoon. Boom. Now let's see how we can go here. Okay, that checks out. It should be the same. How about this? Okay, nice. Score. Let's do the other side. One, two, three. I often tell people in my courses that the benefit of spoon carving is once you understand how wood grain works, you can do so many different things. And I have never carved a fork before because, like I said, it doesn't make any sense. But I at least know or I think I know nothing, but I feel like I got a better understanding of how I could go about a new project like this. Now on the inside it's going to be tricky Because as far as I understand, I would carve this direction here with my spoon knife. So I think the grain wants to be carved this direction here. And I think that's what I feel right now works. So we're just gonna put a chamfer here, here. And how am I gonna do this one? How am I gonna do this guy? Maybe like this. Here we go. Gonna be tricky in that direction. Going around chamfering the drill holes is, as expected, a little bit tricky. Would be easier probably if it was dried, or rather already cured, because then the grain would hold up a little bit better. This way it seems to crumble a bit, but other than that, I'm super happy with how this cherry worked out. Looks like absolute madness, but you wanted it. So
may the fork be with you.